APC youth group make demands on Tinubu's candidacy, and Niger Delta group attack Arewa youths. We want Tinubu as consensus candidate, APC Youth Student Council say. So the APC Youth and Student Council have declared that the presidential candidate of the APC is fit to contest for the 2023 presidential election, adding that they want all Nigerian youths to adopt him as their consensus candidate. According to the group, there is no medical report suggesting that Tinubu is incapable of contesting the 2023 presidential election. While responding to questions when the group visited the chief campaigner of Follow the Money, Hamza Lawal, in preparation for the forthcoming general election, the director of APC Youth and Student Directorate, Mazi Ezenwa Onyirimba, said they want Nigerian youths to adopt Tinubu as consensus candidate because he is fit. There's no certified report that shows Tinubu is not fit to govern the country. Until such a report, the man is fit to rule. I believe the youth will queue for Asiwaju because of what he has done for the youths, Oyimba said. And to address the Niger Delta group that attack our youth, so this came from Pandef, the Pan Niger Delta Forum, which they warned the northern youths not to provoke a crisis in the Niger Delta region with unnecessary and misguided expressions and actions. So in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Ken Robinson, Pandef said the warning became necessary following reports that purported northern youths under the auspices of amalgamated Arawa youth groups demanded termination of a reported pipeline surveillance contract awarded to government Ekpemupulo, popularly known as Tompolo, during a protest at the headquarters of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in Abuja. Pandef cautioned that the reported threat by the Northern Youth Group to paralyze activities at NNPC if the said contract was not revoked is not only absurd but delusional and capable of sparking severe consequences in the Niger Delta. We are sending a serious warning to those misguided Arawa youths and their sponsors. Let it be known that Niger Delta people will not tolerate such absurdity. You know what is funny? Yes, I think these two groups, of course, can have their personal, but their, I guess, opinions that stand to represent their body. But the fact is that these are not authority, given bodies. They don't have the authority to do anything. So really what it becomes is basically, obviously, a social conflict of two different ethnic groups. But then again, if you're going to argue, so who has the right to complain about, pipelines being, I don't think any group, as, the Arawa youth, I don't think they have a right to say they will, put a pause to activities in the NNPCs. Like, excuse me, you don't have the authority as well. And of course, Pandef in itself, yes, has the right to talk about social issues because obviously, they represent the Niger Delta and it's their land that own the oil. But then, they also cannot do anything in terms of saying, oh, we're going to respond. Really, they can have a conflict, they can talk, but really, it doesn't really do anything. In terms of the power that they actually have, I don't think they do have it. But then also moving on to APC Youth, the APC Youth Student Council, saying that they want Tinubu as a consensus candidate, and the logic, I guess, they have given for this is the fact that no report is shown to prove that, Tinubu is not fit to rule. But that's not the only thing. Again, obviously his medical reports were very much, or his medical travel history to be specific, is pretty much what Nigerians were like, excuse me, you are out of the country. Just travel history is different. Now we have seen videos of Tinubu not being able to hold a flag. There are times where he's tripped. there are times where he's unable to, he has been unable to give speeches online. So obviously these were like red flags. We're like, okay, fine, this individual wants to be Nigeria's president. Excuse me, you are showing us signs that you are unfit. A medical record does not have to prove what we can see on video multiple times. And putting that aside, you're now talking about this candidate that is being birthed and produced by the APC. When we're looking at medical history, given the fact that our president or current president has had a history of, traveling for medical purposes and literally being so inactive. I mean, there are points we literally decided, you know what, we don't have a president. He's unaware of what's going on. There's no point calling or shouting Buhari from anywhere. He does not care. So for us to have that mentality and, get to that point and think, our president does not care, he's not even here, he probably is unaware of what is going on, is very much a red flag. And they've given you the template of what this Buhari can do, and then Tinubu is showing health problems and you want to go through another. I mean, you've been shown, that's the thing. And I think from 2015 to 2019, we're literally shown, what Buhari was like. And then 2019 till 2023, I mean, come on, we can't, that was already a mistake in 2019, so making that same mistake again would just be absolutely, in my opinion, very foolish. And then that aside, that the party is producing candidates that are very unfit, you now have the individual himself. Why would Tinubu prove? I mean, the argument is he's built Lagos, he's done this for the youth, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you can't attribute the success of Lagos to this one man. If anything, there are strong rumors that he's milking Lagos. So it's contradictory, to be honest, because it's funny because you'd seen that the general, youth movement is Peter Obi, and then you're trying to say that if there are no medical records to prove that he's not a fit, he's not fit, then we can't just discard him. Yes, we can discard him because the medical history is not only, a parameter that we can use to judge. The fact is, personally, I think he's very entitled, and for somebody who believes that it is his turn to get into, I mean, there are red flags right in front of you. Given that the man, okay, fine, he has been in the political scene for so long, he even looks older than, older candidates. First of all, he's been in the political space. Okay, fine. I mean, if he's done well, let his colleagues come and say, you know what, thank you for being the godfather or whatever they want to attribute him to. But the fact that he still believes at this age that he is his turn, he's entitled. So when he's giving you that mentality and that is obviously showing in his actions, his motivations, what do you expect when he gets there? I mean, look at the NBA. He didn't show up, and the vice presidential candidate for the party looked lost. Like, was he even invited? I mean, come on, they are showing you that they do not care, and they are showing you that they are willing to repeat the Buhari pattern, the Buhari failure. Buhari came to set the stage, and if you give this party the chance again, Nigerians, it would be on Nigerians. It would be like, okay, fine, we can finally decide that, you know what, Nigerians just want to continue to suffer. And when it comes to doing or trying to limit risk and damage, or just be responsible on their own part to make sure that they have a better Nigeria, then it's like, okay, fine, let's just decide Nigerians want nothing. But I think it's very shameful and very sad. But then that, the youth be saying this, but then obviously if the youth are attracted to APC, we can't really say anything less about that. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.